Hello and welcome back to Embodied Astrology. This is a weekly series where I share practical teachings and intuitive messages about the astrology of the week ahead so that you can work with it to embody your most authentic self and live your best life. So there are two key astrological happenings that I have messages for you around. Let's get into it. On Tuesday, we have a new moon in Cancer. New moons are always an opportunity to set an intention or to start something new. And the moon is at home in Cancer. This is a sign that the moon loves to be in. And so there's a lot about this new moon that is going right. And when I tapped into my meditation before this episode, I did get the reassurance that yes, this is a really beautiful new moon to work with. Personally, Cancer season is just really hard for me. As a Leo rising, Cancer's in my 12th house, which is the house of like spirituality and subconscious and ending beginnings and like grief and loss. And this Mercury retrograde has kicked my ass. I don't know if anybody else has been feeling this too, but I do think that everything we've been reviewing, processing over the course of Cancer season and over the course of this Mercury retrograde is really important. We had this Mercury Cazimi on Sunday, July 12th, and we're starting to gain some clarity around the Cancer areas of our life. And so with this new moon, it's a great time to set an intention or start something new around these Cancer themes, which are about nurturing home, emotional foundations, how we process, store, acknowledge, and act on our emotions. I get the sense that whatever you're thinking about starting around this time is something that you already know you're on the right path with. It's not something that's necessarily coming out of left field. Maybe it's something that you've been feeling for a long time and you're like, man, this is something I want to start. I want to do this for me. And I've been kind of waiting for the right time. And now is the time. Even if you don't feel completely ready, even if you're like, oh, maybe I'll just kick the can down the road a little bit. So it's not necessarily something new, but it is something where you feel like, okay, this has been floating around in my mind for a while, and now is the perfect time to start. This new moon is in a hard aspect with the planet Saturn, which is all about structures and systems and boundaries and restriction. And so with that, my reminder for you as you set intentions for this new moon is just to really make sure that whatever you decide to focus on really is for you. You're not coming at this new beginning from a place of obligation to somebody else, like I'm doing this because my parents want me to do it, or I'm doing this because my partner wants me to do it. This should be a new beginning that truly is just for you, that is for your soul, something that honestly is a little selfish. And I think that's what Saturn in Aries is here to remind us. It's here to tell us that the things that light you up, the desires that you have, the way that you want to express yourself is important. And it's important that we commit to that. Just whatever it is that you set, make sure that it is actually for you. Okay. The second message that I have for you about this week's astrology is really more about painting the picture of where we are heading as a collective. And I don't think that we're going to know the end all be all of these more outer planet transits over the next 2 weeks. I think it's something that we will look back on and be able to pinpoint and recognize, or it's something that we're going to be feeling for quite a long time. To put things in the simplest terms possible and to not get all into the nitty-gritty astrology jargon, we are over the next couple of weeks going to experience a really interesting alignment between 4 different planets. We have Pluto, which has been transiting Aquarius. Pluto is the planet of power, transformation, power dynamics, resilience. We also have Neptune in Aries. Neptune is the planet of dreams and ideals and vision. We have Uranus in the sign of Gemini. Uranus is the planet of innovation and disruption and doing things differently and collective liberation. And then we have Jupiter, which is freshly in the sign of Leo, and Jupiter is the planet of expansion, wisdom, knowledge, and it just magnifies everything. So if we were to distill down these themes and what it all means, transformation, innovation, and dreams magnified. We all know and can feel that we are entering a new paradigm. We are creating a new world order, and this transit is so right on time. It is, again, something that's going to play out over the course of a long time. And there's a lot of great astrologers out there that are doing commentary about like what this means at a collective level, and you should definitely check them out. But what I'm here to tell you about what this means for you at a personal level can be best described by a question that my good friend Rhonda asks me all the time, which is, what was your act of resistance today? And sometimes, especially as we're ushering in this new world order, this new paradigm where we are really being asked to stand up in what we believe in and call out the injustice and corruption that we are seeing in our society. Other times, these acts of resistance can be quite small and mundane, almost like taking a nap. Active resistance, strength training, getting really strong, especially as a woman. This is like a big fuck you to the patriarchy, I think. Shopping local instead of buying something on Amazon, reading a book for 20 minutes instead of forcing yourself to continue working for 20 more minutes when you know you had nothing else left to give. Active resistance. It is so clear that there's a lot about what's going on societally that isn't working for a lot of us, and it's really easy to get caught up in the how are we going to get to our destination. I think not only as a society but even in our own lives, we get so caught up in the how we're going to accomplish the thing that we want to accomplish. And so my practice for you this week is to really distill it down into those small daily actions, those little practices that you can do, those tiny acts of resistance that you can exercise on a day-to-day basis. And once we start to accumulate those small actions over time, your life is going to be so radically different. And I hope that you feel much more liberated, much more authentically you. And by taking these actions on a daily basis and living your life in this way, you're also inspiring the people around you to do the same. And that's it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. I love making these for you guys, and I'm so curious to hear, what are the new beginnings that you're calling in for this new moon in Cancer? What are your daily acts of resistance? Please comment below. I love hearing from you guys. And there's so much going on astrologically this summer, and even if you're not super tapped into the astrology, I know that you can feel that time is just moving so fast, like so incredibly fast. And it's so important that we create these little rituals as we move through the summer, week to week, day to day, month to month, that allow us to reconnect with ourselves and to refocus on what it is that we truly want and how we can express ourselves more authentically. One beautiful way that you can invite this into your life is by booking a True You astrology reading with me, so you can unlock everything that you need to know about how to connect with who you truly are and discover your unique potential through the lens of your birth chart. So if that sounds of interest to you, go ahead and click the link below and grab a spot in my calendar. And I can't wait to hand you the keys to your birth chart and show you all the wisdom that your astrology has to offer. With that, happy new moon in Cancer, and I will see you next week to welcome in Leo season. Fucking finally. All right, see you next time.